Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
You wrote me 63 emails.
I was desperate.
A May-December marriage.
I'm 26 years younger than Dawn.
With issues.
She says you get mad, stomp your feet, and put your fingers in your ears.
That keep stacking up.
Are you a hoarder?
I don't think I'm a hoarder.
She is. I'm on top of it.
I'm acknowledging I have a problem.
No, you're not. You said she's just a neat freak.
Bastard.
You need to stop talking and listen. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Good morning. All right, I want you to meet Paula and Dawn. Both claim they used to get along great when they first met, but they're now constantly arguing and say they don't have any relationship left at all. Their relationship is gone. That is, as mother-in-law and son-in-law, because Paula is actually the mother of Dawn's wife, Brenda, who is 26 years younger than him. Let's hear how Brenda and Dawn actually met.
When I first met Dawn, he was so nice and so friendly. Dawn was such a gentleman. He'd open doors for me. He would do everything a girl would want.
I bring her flowers occasionally. We'd go out for dinner. She's a great girlfriend. Everything just seemed to click.
There is an age difference between Dawn and I. I'm 26 years younger than Dawn.
We talked about the age difference at first, but there wasn't a problem on either side.
The age difference did kind of attract me to him. It seemed kind of fun and exciting.
After we'd been dating for a couple years, Brenda and I got pregnant. I was happy.
After I found out I was pregnant, Dawn and I started talking about getting married.
We planned a real small wedding. Brenda wanted to do that. It was her first marriage.
I wanted to marry Dawn because I loved him and I wanted to be married to the father of my child.
Well, Brenda says her once sweet and loving husband, who she married 6 years ago, changed right after the honeymoon and has become a madman, having temper tantrums daily, where she says he will stomp his feet, stick his fingers in his ears, and scream la 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 like a 3-year-old over absolute nonsense, like Brenda throwing away his old stacks of papers or receipts. We're talking like an '07 receipt from McDonald's, or his pile of tomatoes in the kitchen. Now, Brenda admits that she now finds Dawn, in her words, absolutely repulsive, and is only staying in the marriage for the children.
Dawn tricked me. He was so nice in the beginning, and instantly after we got married, he changed into a whole nother person. Shortly after we were married, I realized that Dawn was controlling.
After we got married, I found out Brenda had debt that she had never told me about. We started getting calls from a bank. I felt deceived. I was disappointed.
Dawn's a paper hoarder. Dawn had piles of paper that he would stack all over the place.
I don't see it through your eyes.
You treat him really
We're here
hot.
now.
Dawn would get really upset if I moved his papers or even touched them.
Brenda was a complete neat freak.
Dawn is a slob. I constantly clean up after him.
It's annoying. I feel like I have an elf behind me.
Dawn and I have 2 children together. Dawn gets annoyed when I pay attention to the kids.
I feel like the kids exist and I don't.
Dawn is a narcissist. Dawn loves being the center of attention. The smallest little thing can set Dawn off.
We're constantly arguing and fighting.
He blew up at me because I was bagging groceries the wrong way.
It gets louder, things are said that we can't take back, and it gets ugly. Brenda knows how to push my buttons.
And you spit right in my face.
I did not premeditatedly spit in your face.
I do.
Shut up. Sick of it.
No, you don't.
Shut up. Sorry.
Dawn is a bully.
There's so much built up anger that we sleep in separate bedrooms.
If things don't change with Dawn, the kids and I will have to leave.
I was given the ultimatum that either I agree to go on Dr. Phil or this is over.
So you don't want to be here?
I'm not crazy about it, no.
Okay.
Would
Well,
you
that
like
makes
to-
2 of us.
Would you like to? Yeah, okay. Would you
That
like
makes
to
2 of us,
air
because
your
I'm
dirty
not crazy.
laundry
I'm not crazy
public?
about talking to people that don't want to talk to me.
Oh, I'll talk to you. I just
Oh,
don't.
well, thank you.
I don't want to waste your time. Maybe let me clear myself up. This isn't the first time that I've been requested to go to counseling by my wife. It's happened twice before. She said she would go and never showed. And so I've come here because I do want to save this marriage.
Are you willing to be completely honest, and do you think you have the capacity for insight? Two-part question.
Yes, I think I have already, and I think I'm the only one that's doing that.
All right,
with
well,
the
we'll
other
test
people
that
we're
out
talking
in a
to.
minute. You do want to be here.
I do.
I know that because you wrote me 63 emails in a 5-week period. 63 emails in a 5-week period. Some of your letters were chewing him out. Some of your letters were chewing me out. The hell did I do? We haven't even met.
I was desperate.
I get that. How long did you know him before you married him?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And come on, didn't you see some red flags before you married him?
Looking back, yes.
No,
I did.
not looking back. Didn't you see him at the time?
Not the anger issues, but there were some other issues that we had. He was hanging out at a bar every day.
Well, for one thing, he was 26 years older.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying that spring, September doesn't work, but it's an issue.
It's an issue. It is. Yeah.
And you saw Don hoard paper while visiting his apartment.
His house.
Are you a
yes,
hoarder?
His house.
Now, hold on, before you answer.
Okay,
Don't put your fingers in your ears here.
I won't.
She says you get mad, stomp your feet, and put your fingers in your ears when you get upset. Do you do that?
I don't think I did that. I've done something like that when she followed me into the bathroom and I tried to end the conversation.
What part of that do you do?
I walk away and I go and get in the shower and I say, I'm done. I don't want to talk about this
anymore. Do you put your
anymore.
fingers in your ears?
I think I might have done that one time, yeah.
Twice, at least.
Okay, maybe 2.5. Okay.
Are you a hoarder? And you said you were going to be honest
Yes.
no matter whether it was. Are you a hoarder?
Now, no. When we met, it was a lot worse. I was a bachelor in a bachelor pad. I was running off. I'd
Okay,
rather
don't spin
do that.
it. You're either a hoarder or
Okay.
you're not.
I don't think I'm a
He
hoarder.
is. I'm on top of it.
That's my elf. Walking
Okay.
around picking up.
You observed Don's what you call big shot attitude that he projected around acquaintances.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, he says when he walks into a room that everybody wants to be around him, everybody wants to talk to him because he's an interesting person, when in fact it's actually the opposite. People avoid him because he talks excessively.
Actually, I'm proud of the job that I do.
He starts the conversation with something about the firehouse, or I'm a firefighter. He wants everybody to know that.
I'm proud of that. You haven't asked me how my day's been at the firehouse.
Yeah,
in
and that's
6
what he
years.
says. He says that I'm not proud of his job. The reason I don't say anything about his job is because he thinks he is so great because of it.
Well, he
It
says
should make me
he's
not
much
like
more interesting than you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know about that one. But
Okay, now you either said it or you did. Come on.
I-
Listen, I'm very marginal about even talking to you because you don't even want to be here. So you guys need to tell me the truth or we're done.
He tends to forget a lot of things.
I do forget a lot of stuff.
This is the logic that I look
stupid.
at. Here you are. You marry somebody 26 years older than you that's narcissistic with an anger problem and hoards paper.
Yeah.
Who did you turn down?
At the time, he was such a nice guy. He was so nice, and the paper hoarding was a huge issue to me because I am very clean, and I guess I assumed I could change it. And I keep on top of it. Our house is, we don't have a hoarder's house, but
She
he's
keeps a
very,
great house.
he is very anxious about it.
But you move his papers and he gets upset.
I do.
You move his tomatoes, he gets upset.
Yep.
The tomatoes thing was that comes from, we are going to counseling where we live.
Do you know how trivial it is that we're talking about her moving your tomatoes?
Yeah, I'm sick of talking about the tomatoes.
Me too.
Okay, let's go eat.
We'll meet Brenda's mother, Paula, who is actually younger than her son-in-law, Don. What does she have to say about him? We're going to talk to Paula when we come back.
Don is arrogant. He is confrontational. I have seen Don in Brenda's face yelling at her with his arms flailing in the air. 2 months ago, on their anniversary, after having an argument, Don said, "Happy anniversary."
And later, you are a paper hoarder driven by anxiety.
Okay.
And until you deal with that, you are going to be highly agitated when somebody messes with your world.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Taylor is a liar, manipulator, drama queen.
A mom desperate for help.
Did you steal her credit cards?
And a daughter
You're just making me look like a horrible person.
Now you want to play the victim.
desperate for attention.
Taylor had her head shaved and announced that she was transgender.
I have a lot of people who support me.
4 months later, you decided that wasn't for you.
That's tomorrow.
My wife's convinced that I have some kind of mental illness.
I think Don is definitely bipolar. His mood swings are so extreme.
She got this all by reading up on the internet.
Living with Don is like walking on eggshells.
I've asked Brenda if we go to Dr. Phil's show. Brenda has said that if it's found to be that I'm not bipolar, that she doesn't know if I'm the kind of man she wants to stay with, and that she would have to look at it as I'm just a mean.
Well, that was just Brenda talking about how she believes her husband, Don, who is 26 years older, is bipolar because of his daily temper tantrums and paper hoarding. Brenda says she's so desperate for help that she emailed the show 63 times during a 5-week period. Now, Brenda's mother, Paula, says she's no longer happy with her son-in-law, who is 3 years older than she is. She believes he needs serious psychological help.
Don is all about Don. He is confrontational, very sarcastic, and mean.
Sick of him. Do it every time.
I have seen Don in Brenda's face, yelling at her with his arms flailing in the air. 2 months ago, on their anniversary, after having an argument, Don said, "Happy anniversary." Brenda does not deserve any of this. Brenda and I are very close.
I pretty much tell my mom everything.
Every time Brenda and I have an argument, Brenda's on the phone to her mom. They're both very judgmental when it comes to me.
Paula, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You're involved in their drama?
Because they involve me in their drama. It's not because I choose to be there.
Does she talk to you about it?
Yes, she does. And Don talks to me about it. Don calls me on the phone to discuss these matters.
Yes, I do. I was told because my parents don't exist and I basically don't have
You weren't
any friends up where we live.
Okay.
I was told by her and her husband to feel free to call them and ask them, and I have.
90% of the problems between them is Don's issues of anger. He gets extremely sarcastic, and the conversation just goes downhill.
First, I get a little miffed. Then I get a little louder, and I'm very automated with the way I talk. And yes, I end up shouting, and I did say what was quoted on the recording. What wasn't recorded on the recording that was used here was we were driving back from a counseling appointment, and Brenda wanted an example, a specific example. Well, tell me when. Tell me when. See, you can't come up with that, can you?
because
Come
Don's
on, tell me when. You don't know, do you?
Don-
And I finally went, shut up.
No, because he told me, he said, you blow up just like I do. And I said, I don't blow up.
I did
don't
say
yell.
that, and I don't know that
I
that
don't-
got caught on the tape because
Okay.
after I calmed
This is-
myself down,
Don likes
I
to talk.
said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I told him I do not blow up.
Don is an
You weren't
excessive
there at that
talker.
one.
I'm not talking about that point, Don.
Okay, well, you
Don
said
is an
you were there
excessive
for all of
talker,
them,
and if you
kids.
don't interrupt Don, you don't get to say anything. So when you interrupt him, he will get really, really angry. He says, Brenda got in my face. Brenda never gets in his face. It's not like her.
And you're
into
there all
his
the time,
face.
so you know
Have
that
I
for a
gotten in your
fact.
face, Don?
Yes, you have.
I've gotten literally
Yes, you
in your
have.
face.
Not as close.
No.
You've gotten right there.
That's
Verbally,
very untrue.
physically, you've gotten in my face. This may not be repairable.
This is exactly why I don't do marriage counseling.
I don't blame you. I shouldn't have got married again.
But you did.
Yeah, I did, and I love her, and I love
Yeah.
my kids, and I even like her. It's just, it's sad. It's a sad statement on our lives, and I don't want to 2 more kids.
Yeah, well, you're on your way.
I've been on my way. I know I am, and I've asked her to go get help with me, and she won't show up and stand
Dr.
up
Phil,
and participate. She sits there.
I have been going
How is
with him.
everything? Fine.
I have told our counselor everything. She agrees that Don is probably bipolar.
We went to Shirley, and she's our counselor And she said she would like me to go
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you trying to accomplish here? What's your goal with what you're saying right now?
I just feel like
what
I'm
is
getting
your
painted
goal?
to save our marriage and get our...
Your goal right now is to come off as well as you can in the current conversation. You are not here to get help. You are here trying to cover your ass right now. You're trying to win this debate and make sure you don't lose in this face-off right here.
I know I have issues. I know I have problems.
You need to stop talking and listen. Look, just one old boy to another. Look, come on. To fans, not to players. You and I know you have to make a change or this isn't going to work.
Yes,
and
I
the
do.
question is, you're either willing to do that or you're not.
I'm acknowledging I have a problem.
No, you're not.
And you're telling me I'm here for giggles.
I'm telling you that you have an issue where you... And later, now you two are married, right?
Correct.
You think that this is just a green card scam?
Mm-hmm. The Jamaican staff at the resorts are preying on the white women that come to visit.
You are a paper hoarder, which means you have some obsessive compulsive tendencies driven by anxiety.
Okay.
And until you deal with that, you are going to be highly agitated when somebody messes with your world because you use that structure to maintain control. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just an issue.
I am open
But you
to
can't
anybody.
change what you don't acknowledge.
I'm acknowledging I have a problem.
No, you're not. You said, oh, I had an issue before, but it's much better now. I've got it under
the
control.
problem I have-
She's just a neat freak, and
The problem
she's
I
my
have
elf,
is a
and
lot
she goes
bigger than
around
paper
behind me,
hoarding.
which is a condescending way for you to describe the fact that somebody is nibbling at your structure.
The good old boy to the good old boy. Paper hoarding is I refer to it as the least because my marriage and my kids and what's wrong with me is more of a problem that needs to be fixed. And I know that. And I'm willing to get the help, take the help, do whatever I need to do. And you're telling me I'm here for giggles.
I'm telling you that you have an issue where you... If you're so smart, how come your marriage is in the ditch? If you're so smart, why can't you fix this?
Because I need help. I can't fix it. I don't know how to fix it.
Then you need to listen to what I'm telling you. You've got an issue. Paper hoarding is nothing more than a symptom of what's going on with you internally. Okay. And she is catching the brunt of that. All of this anger that she's getting from you has nothing to do with her. Okay. She's in your world. That's why you're targeting her. This has nothing to do with her.
Okay.
And you had so many stop signs with this guy, you got infatuated. So you decided, okay, I'm infatuated with him, so I'll run off and get married. Okay, bad decision. He might have swept you off your feet and all of that stuff and did all the things any girl wants to hear, but you said right after the honeymoon, bang, he became a monster. Bang, he became this hoarder. Bang, he became this control freak. Bang, he showed this anger. So you proceed to have 2 children with him?
Well, I was already pregnant when we got married.
Come on.
But yes, I decided to have
another child with him. Okay, so what are you thinking?
I guess I was just hoping for a miracle.
I'm concerned about the kids. What kind of an impact this will have on them?
I get it. Yeah, I get it. So you want to get a divorce or you want to try and fix this?
I don't. I do want to try to fix it.
Okay, then let me tell you, you need to pull your head out of the sand and recognize you're in a marriage that is toxic. And at this point, you married into it with blinders on. And so now you're sitting back judging things you knew about when you got into this. Right. You're saying he's having this effect on the children. He had those traits and characteristics before you had those children, and you knew that.
Yeah.
So you have to own that. Yeah. You brought him in knowing that was the situation. So now you have to help manage it.
Okay.
Here's the deal. You've got some problems that I think are very manageable. And as much as they're irritating her, they have to be wearing you to hell out. I mean, when you're saving receipts from McDonald's that are 9 years old, then your grasp on structure and trying to keep things where you feel like you're in some control is a pretty desperate clutch, where you feel like if I can order my external world, then my internal world feels a little bit less chaotic. And that gets real busy, because here's what happens. The older you get, you can juggle those balls when you're 30 and when you're 40, but you hit 50, a few of them start hitting the ground, and so you start to panic. You're 60, a few more of them start hitting the ground, and now you're really panicking, because the older you get, the harder it is to keep all of those balls in the air, and you start getting a bit of a panic, and that starts erupting in the form of anger and frustration and outburst. And that is exhausting to you. And that's unfair, because we have remedies for these things. We have treatments for these things where you can have some peace. And you want that, and you deserve that. True? How would that feel if your peace came from togetherness instead of vigilance?
I'd love it.
I mean, how great would that be in your life?
Be great.
I am willing to bring to you the resources to get you fully evaluated and identified. I will fly you to Dallas, Texas, to PNP Center. Whatever is necessary, we will get you what you need. Will you trust me to set that up for you?
That's why I'm here.
My gift to you, I will set that up for you.
Please.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Deal? Okay. All right, coming up, we're going to meet a couple who say it was love at first sight when she was running past his lifeguard stand in Jamaica. Too bad the bride's sister says it was more greed at first glance from the groom. We'll talk to all of them when we come back.
I met the man of my dreams, and now we're going to get married. When I told him that we got engaged, my family, they were surprised. We decided to apply for the K-1 visa, and within 2 weeks' time, DeVar will be here.
You met her at a resort, so how many others have you met? I absolutely do not trust DeVar.
My next guest, Melanie, says she met DeVar at a resort on a vacation in Jamaica. Everybody has this fantasy, right? You go on vacation and you meet him. She says DeVar was sweet and attractive. He was a lifeguard. She fell in love with him, and they ended up getting engaged just 6 weeks later. Now, a year and a half passed. They're married and living together in Melanie's hometown in Pennsylvania. Now, that's a big change for this guy, Jamaica to Pennsylvania. But there's a catch. Melanie has taken a lot of heat from her sister Bev, who strongly suspects DeVar is just using her for money and to get a green card. They all appeared on the TLC hit reality show 90 Day Fiancé. Take a look.
I met DeVar when I was on vacation in Jamaica. He was working as a lifeguard. Going on vacation, I never expected to meet the man of my dreams, but I did, and now we're going to get married. DeVar and I spent about 20 days together before he proposed to me, and I said yes. When I told him that we got engaged, my family, they were surprised. Their concerns was just that it was so soon, that DeVar's in it for a green card. Excited?
So excited.
Tonight we're meeting my sister, Beverly, and her husband here for dinner.
You met her at a resort, so how many others have you met like her?
I've met no one like her. She is one of a kind, or I should say 1 in a million.
I absolutely do not trust DeVar at this point. My very first concern was that he was coming here to America to use my sister, to get his green card and to basically move on.
I really don't think that he is just getting a green card.
Okay. Now, you two are married, right?
Correct.
And how long?
We got married September 5th.
Okay, how's it going?
Fabulous.
Very
it's
good.
Going perfect.
So you spent how many days together before he proposed?
It was a total of 10 days over 2 trips. before he proposed. On my third trip back to see him is when he asked me to marry him.
Okay, and how many days did you spend together before you actually got married?
Well, DeVar came here on July 1st. So prior to that, him coming here, we spent 76 days together. So since we've been married, that's the amount of days that we've been together total.
Did you have a fight in there anywhere? Big argument?
Not really, but actually when she introduced me to her sister,
caused a little bit of friction.
Yeah. Now, you want her to be happily married, right?
Absolutely.
But you're kind of protective of her. You think that this is just a green card scam.
A lot of the stories that I have read, the Jamaican staff at the resorts are preying on the white women that come to visit. And I think my sister is the one that is foolish enough and has said, okay, sure, I'll marry you.
I've done my research as well.
Yeah? And what did you find? Yeah? And what did you find?
In such situations, someone saying they're being protective of their smaller sister, like Bev right here. My research told me that such persons are jealous of what you got.
Really?
So you think protectiveness could just be jealousy?
Indeed.
And that maybe she wishes you had a brother?
You're right. I do got a brother, but he's already been taken.
Is he married?
Oh, yes.
Where's he live?
I live in Jamaica.
He lives in Jamaica. Okay, so you have family in Jamaica?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, well, there's some interesting things about that. Bev claims DeVar's family has a master plan to be together in the United States, and it doesn't include her sister Melanie. We're going to talk about that intrigue when we come back. You financed this whole thing.
Correct.
Why didn't you work for 4 months?
My lovely lady here, she said you shouldn't go back to work.
That really bothers me.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Did you steal credit cards?
A daughter,
Taylor had her head shaved.
desperate for attention,
You're just making me look like a horrible person.
Now you want to play the victim.
that's tomorrow.
This is the first time that Sherry is going to meet DeVar, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
I want to learn from DeVar if he was ever married before. Does he have any children? I mean, I just don't trust him yet. So right now, you are supporting him 100%. So he doesn't have any money at all?
Nope.
I got two sisters. When I used to be there, I was working, so I used to, like, do everything.
DeVar, is your plan to help your sisters pay their mortgage while you're up here?
Most definitely.
I didn't realize that that was your plan, that once you start making money, you're going to send it back to Jamaica. What percentage are you going to send back to them? I'm just curious.
So let's just say I'm making 10. I will send back about 9.
It's interesting. Maybe I will do that prenup.
Well, we're talking today to Bev, who feels her sister Melanie is being duped by her husband DeVar, who proposed just 6 weeks after meeting Melanie on a resort in Jamaica, where he worked as a lifeguard. There has been financials involved in this relationship, right?
Correct.
I kind of put together total money both Melanie and DeVar have spent on this relationship. Melanie, $1,800 legal and filing fees.
Correct.
$2,000 cash for DeVar, $29,200 on 10 trips to Jamaica to visit DeVar in 2014 and 2015 for a total of $33,000. That's on your side. DeVar, well, that would be 0. So you've financed this whole thing.
Correct.
Now, you were working, though, because she met you working as a lifeguard.
Indeed.
And you were working as a lifeguard, but you quit working as a lifeguard in March.
That's right.
Why would you quit your job 4 months before you left?
I work on a contract. So my contract go for 6 months. Every 6 months you get a renew. And during the period of time when I actually resigned was the end of my contract.
Yeah. Why didn't you get another job?
Okay, because I meet Melanie, and we come to a agreement
Melanie started
that
spending in money.
she will assist me during the time I'm not working until I get here.
I know, but why didn't you work for 4 months before you came over?
My lovely lady here, she said you shouldn't go back to work.
So you sent him money every month?
I did.
That really bothers me. What do you think about that?
The amount of time and the amount of money that it would have costed DeVar to get another contract, to go through another physical, we thought he would be here by April. And unfortunately, with the visa process and the processing times and things with biometrics, it got pushed back until July. Sure.
Why would he not work to stack up money to decompress you financially?
I mean, I was sending him money, and I was financially able to do it. It wasn't like I was not able to, you know, go grocery shopping or do my normal everyday activities because I was sending him $200.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I get it. I get that you could send him money,
Right.
but why would he not work?
Because I was sending him the money, and it just would have been more of a hassle. We thought the visa was
Then
going to
you'd
be
have too
soon.
much money?
No, but just getting
It would have been
a job
so
in Jamaica
much. It would have
isn't
been so
that
much of a
easy.
hassle. He would have my money and then his money, and we would have had to put that two money in like one hand, and it would have been so heavy to hold.
Right.
What do you
I
mean?
understand. I do. I understand.
No, I don't think you do. You watch for red flags. To me, somebody that doesn't work, saying they're going to send most of their money back home when they do get some, that's like a Navy flagman on the end of an aircraft carrier to me.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
You seem like a really nice guy.
Thank you.
You really do. You say you want to send 90% of your money back to Jamaica?
Actually, me saying I want to send 90% back being sarcastic to feel out her sister effect, and basically never went well.
I'm sorry?
By me making a speech saying I would send about 90% of my income salary back to Jamaica, I was a little bit aggravated, but me making such speeches to get her feedback, and feedback I get was not the best.
Yeah, because that would be like sending like almost all of your money back home, where she's 33 grand in the hole, plus all the housing she's providing now. She might like a little financial uplift for a while here, like a college fund for her son, pay off a few debts, car.
That's true.
Something like that. Yeah, I guess there's no way you're going to know till he gets the green card.
Correct. I mean, he could start school before he has the green card, but you have to be completely financial secure and have the $30,000 for the school in a bank account somewhere before he would be able to go. But he cannot apply for financial aid through the state of Pennsylvania until he is a permanent resident with a green card.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And the green card's coming likely when?
We did the adjustment of status. We got all the paperwork back. It's something called a NOAA 1 on October 1st. So it's probably going to be about 5 months from then.
And so your fear is that at that point, he may get the green card and say, adios?
Yep. And he got a couple months here to clean out her bank account.
And you're not concerned about that?
No.
Yeah. However, we always want to be cognizant of every possibility, right?
Sure.
And you watch for red flags, right? Like popping up. To me, somebody that quits work and doesn't work and isn't doing the preliminaries to get to income production as quickly as they can and saying they're going to send most of their money back home when they do get some, that's like a Navy flagman on the end of an aircraft carrier to me. I mean, you'd have to admit those are things that cause concern that I think you'd want to have some real candid conversations with just between the two of you.
And we have.
Well, the marriages that we talked about today probably need a little bit of magic. I've told you what I think. I hope you keep your eyes open, and I wish the two of y'all the best.
Thank you.
But I really hope you keep your eyes open
Thank you.
about this, right?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. magic kind of shows up in a lot of your books in different ways.
I've met all these musicians over the course of my life, and when I put this book together, I went to a number of them, and I said, could I write as you?
Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
My next guest is a real treat for me because it's one of my dearest friends who has appeared on the show numerous times. He's here to talk about his latest novel, The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto, which is in stores now. Please welcome Mitch Albom. What do you say, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So how are things?
Things are good.
Yeah?
Very good.
I got a few questions about the book in a minute, but magic kind of shows up in a lot of your books in different ways.
Yeah.
So tell people what this book's about.
Okay, so it's basically narrated by the actual spirit of music itself. And music explains that when you come out of the womb, before you can even open your eyes and see anything, you actually see a wall of really brilliant colors. And all those colors are all the talents in the world. And when you clench your little fist for the first time, you're actually grabbing the talent that most appeals to you. And Frankie Presto's born, and he grabs two big fistfuls of music. He takes more than anyone's ever had before. And consequently, he grows up, he's an orphan, and he has a very tough life. And when he's 9 years old, he's given this guitar that has magic strings. And he gets to change 6 lives over the course of his life with these strings. And whenever his playing changes somebody's life, it turns blue, and then it kind of evaporates. So he gets 6 opportunities. And it's sort of a metaphor for how all of us get an opportunity to sort of have our own blue strings and affect somebody in some way with the gifts that we're given.
Yeah. I have absolutely no musical talent whatsoever. The only thing I can play is a radio, and it has to have a big on-off knob on it, or I can't play that. But like my son Jordan, and I have no idea where he got it, but is an incredibly talented musician, and he changes our life every day with the music that he does.
Right.
And I mean, it's like with Frankie Presto, it just, you see their lives evolve and change as they come around.
Right. Musicians inspire other musicians. There's always somebody in some musician's life that they'll have seen when they were younger and say, I want to sound like that. And as soon as somebody makes you say, I want to sound like that, you now have a path that you're going for. So that person's playing affected you. And I love musicians. I can understand your son's Jordan's attraction to it because I've met all these musicians over the course of my life. And when I put this book together, I went to a number of them. Wynton Marsalis, Tony Bennett, Burt Bacharach, Ingrid Michaelson. And I said, could I write as you and pretend for a few pages that you knew Frankie Presto? And you tell a story about, like he was in my band, I found him here or there, whatever. To a person, they all said, oh, that's great, they participated. And so they're in the book. Wynton Marsalis finds him in a monastery with his head shaved, hiding from everybody. Paul Stanley from Kiss auditions him for Kiss at some point. And after we finished, they were so nice about it, they actually participated in the soundtrack album. And so it's all that spirit of camaraderie and music and being in a band together that's a beautiful thing to celebrate.
Yeah, I've seen it, and living through it vicariously with Jordan, I mean, that's why this book is so electric. And Jordan never lets me talk about him on the show, but I gave him this book, and he's like 50 pages into it and mesmerized by it because he has never bonded the way he has through the music in the band. That's what it's all about.
Those are his blue strings, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's how he's going to affect the world with his music.
And
also, very nicely dressed band, by the way.
Yeah, well, he gets that from his mother. If you're looking for something to read, particularly during the holidays, The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto, you'll pick it up. It will be a roller coaster ride, and when you close it, you'll have a warm feeling, and it will make you examine every relationship you have in your life, and more importantly, it'll make you really value the ones that are in your world today. I highly, highly recommend it. And as a special surprise for our audience, you're all going home with a copy of The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto. I want to thank all of my guests today, including best-selling author Mitch Albom. Remember to watch 90 Day Fiancé, which airs Sundays at 10, 9 Central on the Learning Channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Great job.